Listen, man, no one's gonna tell you this, but I will. You wanna know how to make a woman miss you, even when she doesn't care about you. You wanna know how to crawl into her mind, how to stay there, how to make her feel your absence so deeply that she starts questioning herself, questioning her choices, questioning why you're not chasing her anymore. But before I give you that truth, I need you to understand something that's going to hurt. Right now, the fact that she doesn't care means you've already been giving too much. You've been overexposed. You've been too available, too predictable, too obvious. And that, my brother, is why she feels nothing. A woman doesn't miss what she already has too much of. She doesn't crave what's sitting at her feet. She doesn't desire what never disappears. What she misses, what she aches for, is the man who pulls back, the man who leaves gaps, the man who disappears into himself, into his mission, into his silence, and forces her to feel the echo of his absence. But here's the paradox most men never face. You can't fake this. You can't just pull back for a few days and expect her to feel it. You can't vanish while secretly waiting for her text. That's not detachment, that's disguise. Women can feel when your silence is desperate. They can smell it. They know when you're just pretending to be busy. What truly makes a woman miss you, even when she doesn't care right now, is when your absence is real. When your life is so full, your mission so strong, your energy so self-contained, that her place in it feels fragile, replaceable, optional. Think about it. The men who beg, the men who cling, the men who bend themselves backward for attention, they never get missed. They get pitied maybe, they get used, they get tolerated, but they don't get missed because there's nothing to miss. They've handed themselves over completely. They've emptied their soul into her hands and left nothing behind that feels scarce, that feels valuable, that feels like a loss. But then there's the rare man. The man who doesn't need her attention to breathe. The man whose silence carries more weight than another man's words. The man who, when he leaves, creates tension because his absence feels like something is missing. Something vital. Something you can't quite name, but you feel it in your chest. That's the man a woman misses. And if you want to become that man, you need to understand this truth. Women don't miss you. They miss the way they feel around you. Read that again. They miss the way they feel around you. If you bring chaos, they won't miss it. If you bring desperation, they won't miss it. If you bring overexposure, they won't miss it. But if you bring calm, if you bring discipline, if you bring an energy that is rare, grounded, and unshakable, then when you're gone, they feel the absence of that energy. They don't just miss a man, they miss the feeling that man created. And that is far more powerful. So the question isn't, how do I make her miss me? The question is, who do I need to become so that being without me feels like a loss? That's the shift, man. That's where transformation begins. Because the truth is, right now, if she doesn't care about you, it's because you've made yourself too easy to have. And the things that are too easy to have are never valued. Scarcity is power. Discipline is power. Detachment is power. Most men think control is about controlling women. Wrong. Control is about controlling yourself. It's about saying no when your body screams yes. It's about not replying when your ego is begging for validation. It's about walking away, not because you want to hurt her, but because you know you'll be fine without her. That is strength. That is what creates tension. That is what makes her wonder. Because here's another brutal truth. Women crave mystery. Not dishonesty, not games, but mystery. They crave the man they can't fully figure out, the man who isn't fully available, the man who has pieces of himself locked away, reserved for only those who earn it. When you give everything away, your time, your attention, your emotions, your soul, she doesn't feel chosen. She feels smothered. But when you hold back, when you protect your energy, when you move with discipline and silence, she feels something rare, curiosity. And curiosity, my brother, is the seed of missing. Think about every time in your life you've missed someone. Really think. It wasn't because they were always around. It wasn't because they texted you all the time. It wasn't because they proved their worth every day. It was because they disappeared. It was because they pulled back. It was because you couldn't quite read them, couldn't quite predict them, couldn't quite control them. And in that uncertainty, in that silence, in that gap, your mind replayed them over and over. That's what women feel when you learn self-control. And here's the beauty of it. The moment you master this, you stop caring whether she misses you or not, because you've detached, you've reclaimed your power, you've built a life that is so full, so rich, so grounded that her attention becomes an addition, not a necessity. That's the paradox. That's the secret. When you no longer need her to miss you, that's when she does. But let me warn you, detachment isn't easy. Walking away when you want to stay isn't easy. Holding silence when your ego wants to scream isn't easy. Not reaching out when your pride feels threatened isn't easy. But every time you choose restraint, you build strength. Every time you choose patience, you build power. Every time you choose discipline over chaos, you build control. And that control doesn't just change how she sees you, it changes how you see yourself. Because at the end of the day, this was never about her. It was always about you. You thought the goal was making her miss you. But the real goal is becoming a man so grounded, so complete, so centered that whether she misses you or not, you remain unshaken. The goal is freedom. Freedom from the addiction of her attention. Freedom from the illusion that her care defines your worth. Freedom from needing to be missed in order to feel whole. Once you achieve that, you become the man women miss. Not because you're playing games, but because your presence is unforgettable and your absence is heavy. So yes, she'll miss you. She'll miss your silence. She'll miss your absence. She'll miss the way she felt when you were around. But more importantly, you won't need her to, because you'll have already become the man who no longer needs to be missed. And that, my brother, is the man every woman secretly fears to lose. So walk away, hold your ground, build your mission, protect your energy, and let her wonder. Let her feel the silence. Let her miss you. Not because you need it, but because you've already become the man she cannot replace. Now listen, if this truth hit you, if it sank into the part of you that's tired of being overlooked, tired of being ignored, tired of giving everything and receiving nothing, then don't stop here. The next video, waiting for you right now, will take this even deeper. And once you hear it, once you feel it, you'll never look at women or yourself the same way again.